morning, everybody. Well, Karla of KC Creates asked us if we'd got any crafty memories to relate, some stories to tell, and I haven't had much time to think about it. The only thing I can think of is one crafty story, and a few other little memories came into mind, so I'll relate those to you. So I've got coffee in hand, and I'll relate a few things to you. Right. Now, I first started crafting, I started knitting when I was about 4, before I went to school, because my mother watched me with some knitting pins trying to knit, so she actually showed me how to knit. But it wasn't until I got to about 9 that we had a sewing lesson at school, and I thought, looking back on it now, it sounds quite complicated for a 9-year-old to do, who's not done any sewing before, but that's how it worked out. So the teacher came in and she said, we're going to make a kangaroo. And she cut out the pattern pieces out of brown felt, and we had to sew the edges up in blanket stitch and do a little button for the eye. And I saw this this isn't the kangaroo, but I saw this kangaroo in a shop, a year or 2 ago now. And nobody wanted this poor kangaroo with little Joey. But why I bought it, this kangaroo reminded me exactly of the shape that was cut out for us in the junior school. And I absolutely loved it. And I was so proud of it, because, you know, when you've finished it and you've actually created something. And that was my first sewing lesson at school. And like I say, I thought that was difficult for a 9-year-old to do. So I made up the kangaroo, took it home, showed my mum, showed my dad. Absolutely treasured it. And then one day I took it to school with me, and I was showing the kiddies at school in my class what I'd made. And the same day, a little boy called Kirk Nunn, he was telling me about his little baby sister, and she was very, very ill. And I don't remember her name. And he was quite worried about her. Well, he was worried about her. And I thought, how lovely for this little boy to be so concerned about his sister. So I gave him the kangaroo. And I said, give this to your sister, it might cheer her up. And he was quite taken aback, and he didn't want to take it because he knew what it meant to me. And I said, no, you take it. So that's why I had to buy this kangaroo. It was a memory link, and whilst this little one is made of, it's like mohair, plush mohair, it could be mohair. My old felt one, I think it found a good home. But that was a long time ago. So that was one little story, one little crafty story. I can't really think of anything else, except one day I was sitting sewing in front of, in the craft room where I am now, which wasn't a craft room then, but I was sitting sewing in there, looking through the window at my daughter because she wanted to go and play outside. And it was an autumn day, and it's pretty cold, and she was sweeping the leaves up on the patio. And I was watching while I was sewing this little dress for her. And I got the window open so I could talk to her through the window. And all of a sudden I heard this little voice, and she was singing, "Praise the Lord, praise the Lord," and sweeping the leaves with the brush. And on she went, la 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 la. It's bloody cold out here. And I just cracked up laughing. You got this sweet little voice, then all of a sudden, it's bloody cold out here. I don't know why that came to mind, but it did. Right, but moving on from that, a couple of things happened to me, which I thought just confirmed that everything that we say and do is heard. So you have to be careful what you're saying and doing in life, because it's noted somewhere else. So moving forward to about 15, 20 years ago, I was having a really off day. I was feeling pretty lonely actually, and sorry for myself. And I'd booked the car in, that had got to go in and have something done to it. And I took the car in, and the car was just in the repair shop was just in a side street. And I said, "How long would it be?" And he said, "It's nothing major." He said, "It's only a 10-minute job." He said, "If you stick around, we'll do it for you." So I waited on the side of the road, just by the fence surrounding the repair shop. And it was quiet, and I was sort of leaning up the fence and just contemplating, really. And then down the road came a young man with the guitar slung over his shoulders. And as he came towards me, he started to smile. And I smiled at him. But it was a smile of, all I can say, recognition. I've never seen him before. And he stopped, said good morning. Said good morning. And I said, "Oh, will you play something for me?" He said, "Certainly." And he started to play songs, well, every song that he sang and played on his guitar. Every song were my favourite songs at the time, well, not at the time, but earlier in my life, when I used to live with my grandma. Because my grandma had a son who died, and she was devastated. He was in his 40s, and my mum sent me to live with my gran for 6 months to help her get over this bereavement. And while I was there, I'd got one of those old reel-to-reel tape recorders, and I taped on there every song that this busker, this street musician, sang to me that day. Every song. We were both singing together in the end, and my spirits were lifted. I didn't feel miserable anymore. I just marvelled at the fact that every song that he sang was on that reel-to-reel tape. there were about 6 of them. Remarkable that he sang 6 in the street to me. And one of the men came out of the repair shop. He says, "Are you okay, Mary?" Because I was laughing and, singing with this chappie. I said, "Fine." I said, "Absolutely fine." I said, "I've just had a great experience." And off he went. No, I said goodbye to the busker. He went on his way. Never seen him since. But I thought what a wonderful experience that was. So, in my opinion, because I was feeling so particularly low that day and miserable, my grandmother must watch what I do, because this isn't the only experience I've had where she has been watching me. And she sent him along. He didn't have to go down that side street where this garage was. He could have walked along the main road. And I think he went out of his way deliberately, or was meant to. So that's one other little story. And another, I suppose, talking about being watched, the things that you do. I used to do voluntary work in a hospital. And I'd talk to the patients and basically just was a listening ear. And I visited one ward, and there's a lady visiting her sister. And I was talking to her sister, and who was lying in bed, and she said she can't talk to you. She can hear you, but she can't talk. So, right, I thought, how can I communicate with this lady and let her know that somebody cares? So I took off. I'd got a cross and chain around my neck. And I just said to her, "Would you like this cross for comfort?" And her eyes, she blinked her eyes, looked at me, and she nodded. And her sister says, "Oh no, don't give her that, don't give her that." I said, "No." I said, "Let her have it." I said, it will bring her comfort, and she wants it. And I put this cross around her neck, and her sister thanked me. She said, "But you shouldn't have done that." "But it's only a little thing," I said, "and it might mean a lot to her." So, years after that, I met a lady who was a medium. We were just talking, and just out of the blue she said, "Kathleen," says, "thank you for the cross and chain." And I didn't say anything, but that was the Kathleen that I saw her in hospital that day. Those few little stories are all I can think of talking about today, ladies. So I just hope that is of interest. And I've only just got up, so bear with me, won't you? Have a good day, everybody, whatever you're doing. Keep well, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye for now. Bye.